Are you an adventurer looking to take your hunt to the next level? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to East Meets West Hunt with your host, Beau Martonik.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the East Meets West Hunt podcast, brought to you by Onyx. This will be part 2 of the podcast with Chris, Derrick, and Sitka Gear. But first, let's hear from some of the features I love within the Onyx Hunt app. So if you have no cell service, it's not a problem. So even though this GPS app is on your phone, you don't need internet connection. You don't need that to be able to use it. You can download the maps ahead of time, go in the field, have it on airplane mode, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. I'll be using it north of the Arctic Circle in Alaska here in a couple months, and it's just a really cool way of being able to do that and turning your phone into a mobile GPS. So if you want to check out the Onyx Hunt app, head over to onyxmaps.com. Use the coupon code EMW. That'll save yourself 20% off of the app. The University of Elk Hunting. So Corey Jacobson, Elk 101, have put together the most comprehensive and complete resource for increasing your elk hunting knowledge, confidence, and hopefully your success. Right now is a great time to be learning the elk hunting knowledge, because you can have all the gear in the world, you can do everything else that you want to, you can be the best shape of your life, but if you're not learning how to hunt elk and elk behaviors and everything else, then you're really missing out on some opportunities. So the University of Elk Hunting online course has just about everything from beginning to end for elk hunting. So head over to elk101.com. If you're interested in the online course, use the coupon code EastMeetsWest. That will save yourself 20% off of a 1-year membership. And Tethered. So Tethered is built of a team of saddle hunting fanatics with a passionate addiction to whitetail hunting. So they're out to seek, they want to accomplish 2 different missions. They want to spread the love for the saddle hunting to the community, and also design and engineer the world's best saddle hunting equipment. That's it, period. They just want to do that and make the community better. And they'll do that through the resources and videos to educate you on saddle hunting, and then also by building some of the best lightweight, safest gear on the planet. Head over to tetherednation.com, check out everything, educate yourself, learn about saddle hunting, and give it a try for yourself. Okay, so this is part 2 of the podcast with Chris, Derrick. So if you haven't listened to episode 135, which was part 1, head back and listen to that first, where we laid the foundation on learning how to build a system. And this one, we're going to get into mostly talking about the new Sitka Gear whitetail hunting packs, all the details that go within it, the testing process that I was lucky to be a part of with Chris with the new Cargo Box, which is the mobile hunting pack from Sitka that I've been working on for the last 3 years. Super pumped to see that come to fruition. And also, some of the other new packs and gear coming out this year. So really, really exciting time there. And as I talked about on the last episode, doing a giveaway. So I'm giving away, teaming up with Sitka, we're going to give away a new Stratus jacket, the new redesigned Stratus jacket, and a Cargo Box pack. We're going to do 2 separate winners here. So head over to my personal Instagram at Beau Martonik, Beau.Martonik, and follow the instructions to enter there. If you're on Facebook, head over to the East Meets West Outdoors Facebook page, follow the instructions there. And then also you can leave a rating review on Apple Podcasts, place an order at eastmeetswesthunt.com, or lastly, which is the 5th way to enter, is to sign up for the email list at eastmeetswesthunt.com. So once you go over to the website, it'll have a little pop-up box that when you sign up for that email list, you'll get all of the, a weekly email. I'm not going to spam you, just a weekly email that goes through the new content that I'm putting out from the podcast, YouTube videos, writing articles, and then also some deals from partners. Keep that into one email, one short email per week, and shoot that out. And so there's 5 different ways you can enter, and you can have up to 5 entries in it if you do all 5. So check that out. Again, Instagram, Facebook, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, any order placed on my website, and then also signing up for the email list. So I encourage anyone to, if you're going to look at Sitka Gear, shop at a local dealer like Bucks and Bows, where I used to work in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But if you don't have any local dealers available and, you want to order online, well, then please use the link over on my website. So if you go to eastmeetswesthunt.com/partners, or just click on the partners tab on the website and then click on the Sitka logo, I make a small commission off any purchases through Sitka Gear by using that link. It's a way I've dealt, as you see, with some of these coupon codes and special links that really helps me be able to, get a little bit back as far as putting into this podcast here. And just like I said, I really appreciate that and appreciate the support. But anyways, enough talking here. Let's keep this short and sweet and jump right back into part 2 with Chris Derrick of Sitka Gear. We did a podcast back in January when we were out at Owen's place in Ohio, and we were talking about this new pack, this new mystery pack that that you've developed and I've helped field test with you and work on for the last 3 years. And now we can actually say the name of it, the Cargo Box.
It's nice. I slipped it into the old one, but I did it coded. So
You did. Yeah. That's funny. That project, yeah, you did say that you said, it can carry a lot of cargo instead of kind of drawn out so that everyone would get and then you let me, sneak some photos out. Actually, I've shared probably 10 photos of it in the last 6 months or even longer. And it's been generating a lot of questions. I just did a YouTube video going through those Timber Ninja sticks, and I had the pack in there, and it was people, what is that? Can you talk about it yet? I was like, nope, just give me a little bit, another month. So here we are. Let's hear about this new cargo box.
yeah. So first of all, thank you for all your input on this. Beau and I have been working on this, I want to say nearly 3 years since I met you, and we didn't feel that it was ready to bring out. Like, we've been working on it and we were like, not yet, it's not right. And so we held it an extra year to do some more work. And what this pack is it's our largest capacity pack. So it's 2,200 cubic inches, has about 23 storage compartments. And the way that it's set up is, if you're a camera person, it's got a lot of, storage pockets for your lenses. If you're a mobile tree stand hunter, the great thing about that is it can carry your sticks in the side wings. And I filmed like a how-to video on how to use this pack with Beau that we'll have available later on before this fall, out on the website, I'm told, from the marketing team. And so the side wings can hold either like a rifle if you want them to, or if you're running, sticks, you can run your sticks in those. And then the stand, the back of the frame separates from the main compartment of the pack. So if you're running a traditional tree stand system, you can run and stick your, like a lone wolf style, or, if you got a portable Millennium or Hawk style stand, you can stick all of those in the back of the pack. And then it's way easier to take apart and put back together than the old system. Or if you're running a saddle, what Beau and I were doing is we just run the sticks on the side. Is your house on fire, Beau?
Oh, can you hear that in the background? Sorry, must be a fire truck going by. So
yeah,
sorry about that.
And the way that Beau really taught me to run this is, he kind of modified it, is if you're running a saddle, he put the sticks in the side wings, and then he put the platform on these 2 Hypalon straps, and the bottom one would just slip through. It wouldn't actually even be connected. It would kind of just seat behind the strap. and then the top strap would come through the ports, and basically he would just walk up to the tree, unclip one strap, and then hook his, a saddle platform to his hip, and then we'd set our sticks and go on up. So I've started using that, and then we've talked a lot about like packing in your bibs and your jacket, especially for larger guys that maybe are XL or double XL or even 3X. On those, they can't fit, but maybe a jacket inside of their pack, and then everything's taken up. So now on the top of the bottom of the pack are basically hidden straps that deploy out, and you can wrap up your bibs and your jacket to the bottom and top of the pack. And then the front lid comes down, and then we even have like a hidden blaze flag that comes out. So if you're walking in to the stand and you're covering up the back of your orange vest, you can actually deploy this blaze flag out, hook it around the back of the pack, and then you don't lose your blaze coverage going in. You keep your minimum square inches.
Yeah, you Pennsylvania hunters know how important that can be.
Duck and cover season.
Yep.
So those are some great design. We learned a lot from doing the first one. If you got a camera arm, it'll hold your camera arm pretty well in there too. It's just basically a scaled down version at 1,800 cubic inches. And then it doesn't have the waist belt that the cargo box has for carrying all that weight in. But it holds your water bottle way better than the old one does. And has the drop down lid, the strap. So a lot of little improvements, and stayed at the same price of $250.
Yeah. So then the cargo box and the tool bucket, and by looking at them, are the interior of the two very similar?
Pretty similar. And if you had the old toolbox or tool bucket design, they're not going to depart too much from our traditional bucket style design. That's something that's really unique to Sitka. The compartments are built inside of this pack. There's the back of the compartment now has way more storage, like individual slots for the inside. So I'll keep my snips in there. I'll keep like an ozonics in there, saw, maybe, some gloves or a grunt tube, but all of those are inside of there. And now when you actually hang it by the lid too, on both the cargo box and the tool bucket, full OptiFade coverage. So no more like solid black mesh panel. It's actually an OptiFade mesh that we're using. So full concealment.
Yeah. And so one thing, I want to go back to specifically the cargo box. That was the one I used the most and worked with you on. Is you were talking about strapping things to the top and the bottom of it going in. I the way that I would explain this pack to people is it has a lot of functionality like you would see out of a Western pack, almost like a big game pack. It carries loads well. You can pack in your tree stand in between the frame and the bag. You can strap your extra clothes, the top and bottom. Almost think about like what say a Western pack, putting your sleeping bag on the bottom. You can do that with your Fanatic jacket or maybe your Fanatic vest, Stratus jacket, bibs, whatever that might be. All of that stuff there. But then it has the functionality of a whitetail pack. So when you're in the tree stand, you're able to easily access everything. You have that bucket design that, you've come to know with the old tool bucket and toolbox style. All of that is there and easily accessible. But like I said, you're comfortable being able to do it. And one feature that's different on the cargo box from the old tool bucket is that it almost has, I don't know if this is the correct term for this, but almost like a load lifter style to it, where it has a strap that comes up from your shoulder straps to the pack. And say if I was carrying a traditional tree stand in, if you're using a lone wolf, the way you ran it, Chris, and taught me to use it, is you put your lone wolf stand in between, say, the pack and the frame. You run that strap up through to the pack on the other side, and you can cinch it tight. You can cinch that tight up to there. And the way I ran it when I was using the Hawk helium stand was I'd actually wrap that load lifter strap up around like the kind of metal mesh that goes on the platform of the stand, and put it up a little bit of an angle higher, like I would say my mountain hauler big game pack, so that it gives you some load lifting capabilities, being able to pull that stand close to your back and kind of in a downward motion that takes a little bit of weight off your shoulders. So, and then by having the belt style there, you can run that right on your hip bone and be able to really carry weight extremely well. So that was one, feature that I personally loved about it. It's something that, I had for a while used a big game pack for a lot of whitetail hunting because I wanted that load lifting capabilities. But with this, it's, you get the best of both worlds. It's not. So, another question from people looking at the pack is this going to be able to haul meat? And I have not hauled meat with it yet, but I would not be afraid to. It's not going to be as comfortable as, say, a mountain hauler pack or, some sort of a big game framed system pack, but it does have the capability of being able to do that with the sling that's in between the frame, what I'm calling it a frame, but the frame and the bag, and being able to strap that to it. You can definitely take out, from a whitetail standpoint, hind quarter, maybe even a shoulder with that on the way out. You're not going to get a whole deer out in one load, but you're able to do it that way with all of your gear. And also on that hip belt, that new water bottle holder, that was something that was like one of the biggest things for me. And, and I told you that back when we were on the first version of it, it's got to be able to fit an Nalgene, and having an Nalgene bottle in there is, being able to have it right there available, not having to take your pack off to get to your drink. Say you're walking into your standaways and you want to be able to take a drink. It's right there, easily accessible on your left hip. Like you're not reaching back, trying to pull it out, and then you can't get it back in. This is super simple and easy. And it also has a little flap in there with a drawstring. You can pull it out, and you could toss a regular water bottle in there and cinch it down so you don't lose that either. So that's where the capabilities of that simple feature has been, I think, is really cool and helpful for us, and it fits the East Meets West Nalgene bottle perfect. So I think that, they need to go hand in hand.
Well, I actually credit you all on that, because you were the one you remember how many rounds of produce we were getting with that, trying to get that water bottle holder right. And then, so that I do credit that. That's something that you, in the feedback, we incorporated in there, and I do love it. You can just drop it right in, and it's worked itself into the other pack I'll go over in a minute that has water bottle holders. The other thing too is on the hip belt of the cargo box too is like a wind indicator. So if you think about, you're walking in, normally that's when you're checking your wind, right? You're trying to see your approach, make sure everything's good for that. So it's all right there, accessible on the hip belt. And then the chassis of this thing, like you said, is like built like as a load. This is not like a whitetail pack we tried to shove it onto. This is the chassis to be able to handle the loads that we've carried. I mean, I've stacked 2 stands and 8 sticks on this. I don't recommend that everyone does that. But I'm just saying, like, when we were going through the field test process, like, I wouldn't say I was super comfortable, but like, that's a lot of stands and sticks to run in there, plus a full load in this thing. And, I probably did 4 miles in that, just running it around during actually elk season here, setting up stands over wallows. So that's what I did last year before I discovered the saddle. So I'll flip to the saddle for that for this year. My wallow spot.
Well, yeah, you and I, when we were carrying in sticks for Dan, when you were filming here in November, each of us were running 6 sticks on the side of our packs plus the stand, and I think a couple times you might have carried 2 stands in at a time. So when I was saying about the meat thing, I have not tried it yet, so I don't want to say with full certainty, but in reality, I think it's very capable.
Yeah, I think you'd have to get a little bit creative, but I have no problem saying that it could be done.
Yeah.
And then, I think that's really good. And, No, the reason I did that is to carry all those stands in, like you said, for my buddy. He didn't have the pack, so I carried in stands for him and me.
Yeah.
All in one. So that's those two packs. Also going with them, we do have a reversible pack cover. That's a rain cover. So one side's Optifade with kind of like a brushed quiet textile for in the stand. If it's raining, you can put them on either the cargo box or the tool bucket. But then when you're walking in and it's raining, or even just if you're always walking in too, one side's blaze orange. So you can wrap the whole pack in blaze orange for your hike in. And that's the reversible pack cover.
Mm-hmm. The material on the outside of that is similar to like the downpour. If anyone has that.
Super quiet.
Yep, very quiet.
Yep. So you can add that into your kit if you want it. A great way to add rain cover to it and some really easy to use blaze coverage. And then the last pack we've done a lot for whitetail, so this is a little long, but the tool belt. This one, by honest, is become a totally unexpected fan favorite of people. It's 600 cubic inches. So if you're running gun style, you can have a tiny little pack profile at 600, but it holds a lot. It's got, your hip belt that runs very similar to the chassis of the cargo box. So it carries a load super well. 2 water bottle holders. So one side can hold your, East Meets West Nalgene bottle. You like that?
Yeah, there you go.
The other side, your empty Gatorade bottle, if for, like a pee bottle. So the constant debate, pee or pee not, pee off the tree stand, that is available out there. And you can take either of them off if you want to as well. So they're removable. And this thing's think of like a mini bucket. So if you're familiar with the toolbox or the tool bucket designs that are out there now, a lid design on it that's like just a smaller bucket, with a single storage compartment that's mesh on the inside. So if you hang it by the lid, but then what's neat about this is you can flip the pack around to the front side and open it the other way. So it's a double way lid. So if you wanted to sit in your stand with all your like snacks and your goodies, like right on your hips, if you're just like, especially for rifle hunting, you could sit there and, munch on Pop Tarts all day long. And it's all like right there in front of you. And then, you can flip it around, and then the bottom of the pack, you can nest antlers on it. Most antlers, I'll say, will nest on it very nicely using some side straps and some bottom deployable straps. Uh-huh. And then there's a sleeve across the bottom of the pack that holds a bow arm holder. So if you walk up to your tree stand, you can literally like get to your steps, walk up, get to the top of the tree, screw your bow hanger arm in, climb up the tree, and set it there, all without having to pull anything up into the tree with you. So that's one way you can get up. And then the last thing on that one is the fact that it has like a removable mesh stuff sack that you can add. You can either run the stuff sack all on its own just by pulling the straps out and hooking them to the meta gate buckles, or you can attach them to the hip pack. But what's great about this is like later season hunts where you got to pack in your Fanatic jacket and your bibs, you can stuff those in there. And then when you get to your stand and put them on, you can just put the mesh stuff sack away. And it's tiny. It doesn't take up hardly any space. So it allows you to reduce your profile in the stand. So that's really what's made this pack a whole lot of fun to develop. And just think about everything I'd want in a small running gun style hip pack. And so that's the tool belt.
Yeah, and that's a pack that I never thought that I would have a whole lot of use for, and I've been using it a ton, especially for running cameras and scouting for me, or if I had a fixed stand, it's perfect. It holds everything you would need in there. The 2 external pockets, I usually throw my Nalgene in the one, and I'll actually even stuff a camera in the other one that I can pull out as I'm going. Say I'm walking into a spot and I want to hang a camera real quick. Don't want to take a lot of time. I can pull it out of that side pocket, get it up, keep moving. And it's a really cool, thought out pack, and that little mesh thing that goes on your back there is awesome. You can stuff a lot of stuff in there. Like I didn't, by looking at it, you wouldn't expect that you could fit, a Fanatic jacket and stuff in there, but it's a really, really neat feature.
Yeah, I could fit a Celsius midi, a Fanatic vest, and a Stratus jacket all in that little stuff sack because it compresses down so well. And that's one of the stuff. And I know a lot of guys are even using it. I gave it to turkey season running around with that thing because it's so good for that. So for that hip style design. So that's so those are all the new packs that we developed. So there's this literally, like, if you want a quiet pack, you got the Fanatic. You want a small minimalist pack running gun, you got the tool belt. A journalist pack that's just like your everyday use pack, you got the tool bucket, and then your carry everything in cargo box. Those are your 4 packs inside of the Sitka Whitetail line. So there should be something for just about everybody, depending on your style of hunt, because if you ask one person what they want or the next person, it's going to be a little bit different, especially when it comes to packs.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure. And then that rounds out the 2020 Whitetail gear, doesn't it?
It does, except for the women's. We did redesign the women's Fanatic to match with the Berbers, but we do want to go ahead and introduce it for this year. The one thing I'll say is the same audible engagement distance, hearing ports, because the women's has the hood in it. And then it allows women to be able to use aftermarket relief devices like Go Girl or Tinkerbell. Basically, they don't have to get out of the stand to go use the restroom. Like, they can just go like a dude. So that's the women's design. And I did not design that. A team of women came up with that. But I have to say, it's really cool to see a group of people come together, and highlight a problem. And, that was a truly women-led solution and that's why we didn't bring it out with the men's. We had to make sure that this thing was truly designed for women's needs.
That's awesome. Yeah. The women's gear is definitely, second to none. And with, because of having all that, great team of, women that have helped you guys out with the whole process, and it's cool to see that.
Yeah, we actually had a consumer email customer service complaining about this problem right as I started this project. So Marie got actually pulled into the field test. So it's funny. It's like she happened to email our customer service complaining about this type of stuff, and nobody's thinking about what women need. And so she instantly became a part of the advisory crew for
this. That's funny.
Yep.
Well, cool.
But so that's everything for 2020.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, and just like when you think that it's all been done, there's been some really cool updates, like you said, to the Strata system, the pack systems and everything. It's really cool to see just continuous innovation. And Chris, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of the field testing portion, and as I joked to you about, I'm your dummy with things, right?
Oh, well, I've always said that about you. No, it's been really good, and I appreciate you taking me last year out to Pennsylvania. I learned a lot about public land hunting and the style that you're doing up there. That was an area that I've hunted a lot of different places, but I'd never actually done the Pennsylvania public land hunting thing, being from where I was in the South. So it was really cool to see that style that you had up there, and be able to learn what we need to do to even make it better for everyone up there that's in your area.
Cool. I hope that you get to come out again, or want to come out again, because you're always welcome to come back and do some hunting.
I'm there. I'm game.
Awesome. But the one thing you got to leave at home is those giant rattling antler set that you brought from the office.
My Iowa deer antler set. So yeah, that was a bit much for those. So back to a smaller setup, but I brought it for pictures. So.
Yeah. All right. So Chris, where can when is this stuff going to be released? Because I know that I'm going to be releasing this podcast a little bit before it fully comes out. But when is it going to be released, and where can people find the information on it?
So, like if you're going ahead and looking for stuff on the website, obviously sitkagear.com will have information on this. The products will be available until July 10th. So those are places that you can go be able to find stuff online. If you're local in PA, you've got Bucks and Bows, you got Lancaster. So if you want to go in and visit either of those local retail shops, I know both those groups are super knowledgeable. And there's a bunch more around the eastern area up right there, but I was just trying to highlight a couple right in your backyard that you could go in and take a look at. So go look at our Sitka retail locator, and if you want to go in and see the stuff in person and purchase it from them, that's a really great place to go. Nobody can sit down and walk you through the line like somebody at one of those stores. So
awesome. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you coming on again, and for your, I don't know, 4th or 5th episode that you've been on the podcast here. So I think you're going to retire. I think I'm done talking to you.
That's fine.
Just kidding. You're always welcome on the talk. And like I said, thanks for educating everyone on building the system and some of the new products.
Well, thanks everyone for your support.
All right, we'll see you, Chris.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of East Meets West Hunt with your host, Beau Martonik. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit eastmeetswesthunt.com, Facebook at East Meets West Outdoors, and Instagram at East Meets West Hunt. If you enjoyed today's episode, please review and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.